Hey, what's up people? I bought myself another Spyderco Military one. This time in all black. I like it visually speaking quite a bit. Now, this is my second military. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna buy a third one if I ever have the chance to buy one in a different steel, because these are both CPM S30V. And yeah, I'm not sure if S30V is the best steel for this knife. Probably not. Probably more something like Kruger, for instance. I'm aware that there is a Kruger version of the Military 2. I don't like the Military 2 though. For the same reasons, I prefer the Military 1 to the PM2. So, and I've carried this one for years and years, but I still prefer the Milli. The original one. Sometimes the original one is the best one, right? If you think about it, the Para-free and the PM2 are both not as great as the Military overall. Like, this is just the best version of this shape. The straight spine shape with a decent amount of belly, not too much. It's a mediocrely amount, but overall, in terms of comfort, lightweightness, this basically has everything that I like in a folding knife. It's simple, with a simple but effective locking system. I think this liner lock is superior to most liner locks. Actually, to all liner locks on the market. This is the best liner lock we have ever seen in a folding knife, I think. As far as I know of. There might be a knife that I don't know of, but this is the best, most well-made liner lock. It has curvature on the tang of the blade, so it is secure. Super secure, to be specific. This is really nice. Apart from that, it's a big knife, but it's lightweight. It is thin and easy to carry. It has weight where it needs the weight, and it does not have weight where it doesn't need weight. So the G10 is not reinforced by steel liners through the entire knife, just where the construction depends on it. So that's actually a step back on the PM2. The PM2 has liners everywhere, and so does the Para-free. So the right amount of weight, a simple construction. We have 2 big T8 screws for the body, and then a T15, I think, for the pivot. And of course the lanyard hole, although I will say the lanyard hole on this one is not as bad as on the PM2 and Para-free, but it will be very, very tight when you disassemble it. So yeah, lots of benefits. I think in this black version you can even see the cutting edge profile even better than on the stainless version. Because you can see exactly where it curves. So a good amount of straight edge, a little bit of belly, fine point. On this one, the tip seems to be, can I get this in focus? The tip seems to be a little bit thinner than on my first one. Can you see that? Maybe it's just because of the black, but I don't think it's an optical illusion. I think the black one is really thinner in geometry, so it was ground a little bit pointier. I don't mind it. I don't need a needle fine point always, but a decently fine tip is nice. It has enough robustness, so thickness of the blade stock, which means stiffness. You get a lot of stiffness in the blade. It's not a blade that will flex on you. It will be able to cut even harder things reliably without snapping. And of course you need to be careful with the tip. But yeah, super low weight for the size, I think. I don't even know the weight on top of my head. I just know how it feels in pocket, but I will weigh it real quick. 118 grams, that's not a lot. 117 even. That's not a lot of weight for a knife that has a full 4-inch, even a little bit longer, 10.2 centimeters, which is 4-inch and a little bit. So what is it in ounces? In ounces it's 4.1 ounces, which I think is very good for this size. I mean, this is a huge overall knife compared to these. So, and the comfort of the military one is much higher. You don't have this point sticking up that you get on the Mili 2 or the Para 2 in this case. But on the Mili 2 it's the same thing. You get this point, so meaning you get a hot spot right here if you bear down on it really hard. And you also get a hot spot from the compression lock back here. Now, I don't think the compression lock is a weak locking system. I think in fact it's very strong, it's very simplistic, it has a lot of benefits, but the liner lock that is on the Mili one is so perfect as is, I don't think you need to change it. So this was the best version of this family, I think. Of course, for left-handed people, big downside, it's right-handed tip down only. Tip up, tip down, depends on the knife. On the PM2 I prefer tip up, although the clip position is kind of weird. So another drawback of the Military 2 is that the clip position will be at an angle and not straight if you put it in the tip up position. On the Mili 1 you'll get a relatively straight tip, so if this sits in your pocket, the clip puts the knife in a position where it wears very comfortably, other than on the PM2 you have a knife that kind of digs in the side here a little bit and sits at an awkward angle. So yeah, I kind of like the tip down positioning of the clip better. On this particular knife it's very quick, you draw it, you open it, it's a very quick and easy opening. So why did I get another one of these? I was afraid that these would be discontinued, and I think they will be sooner or later. So, and I always wanted to have a black version. I had no desire to put down the money, but I bit the bullet and I paid for it. And I'm very happy that I did, that I have another one. My first one is super smooth, as you can see. Focus, please. Very smooth. This one is by far not that smooth. I've been carrying it for a week now, but it's not as smooth as my first one. Yeah, this one is broken in so nicely over years and years of use. The difference in grippiness of the G10 is very noticeable also. I did color this G10, by the way, so it is a little bit darker than from factory, but I think it still looks good. It would be interesting to see how the how the black one would look with the camo G10. Would also look pretty good, right? But I think I will leave it as is. Would like to have like a coyote brown G10. That would be really nice in combination with the black hardware and black blade. Oh, by the way, this one is already one of the versions that has a black liner. The older ones did not have that, but yeah, I think it looks really good. I love the Military. This is my favorite pocket knife at the moment. I carry this more than anything else. It's just perfect. It has everything you need in a big pocket knife and nothing you don't. And yeah, like I said, I think it's the best version. The only thing I would change in here is the S30V. I think S30V is a good steel, maybe not in this knife, okay? Crewwear or anything else, anything tougher would be perfect in this knife. Because it's kind of a hard use knife, you want a hard use steel. That being said, I never had any issues with the edge performance of S30V on these. So the toughness was decently fine for a steel that is not known for toughness. So yeah, best folding, one of the best folding knives ever created in my opinion. The Military 2 is a step back, I think, in many ways, other than that it is more capable for left-hand users now. But this one was the best version of the entire family. It's better than the PM2, better than the Para 3, certainly better than the Military 2. The Military 1, yeah, one of my favorites. It's so good. You should get one. If you like big knives, you must have this one. It's the best. just the best. Quite a lot about the Stretch 2 versus the Milli 2, and I cannot get to a conclusion. I think the Milli 2 is just better, even though technically the Stretch 2XL is the better knife because it's thinner ground, has a thinner blade stock, and has some nice details. But for some reason, when I put this in my pocket, it feels right, and everything feels perfect. And on this one, I'm never satisfied. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just a creature of habit. You always get a little bit of blade play, and these have zero blade play, like nothing. There is no blade play whatsoever. They are so solid and so well built. This one I didn't even clean for the first 5 or 6 years that I had it, and it was no problem whatsoever. Eventually I cleaned it, the action got even better, but it was not an issue to not clean it. You don't need to disassemble a knife that often if it's well constructed. And these run on washers, on phosphor bronze washers, and they work very, very well because it's a simple, effective construction. Yeah, perfect. 10 out of 10 pocket knife experience on the Military one. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and maybe see each other in another video. Goodbye.